Louisiana. I'm John Goodman, inviting you to visit louisianatravel.com and plan your getaway today.
And you're back with Rocket Right. Hurricane Betsy Barnes here with Dr. K. Solar. And we are so glad to invite this man about town, Layne McDaniel. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. Very much honored.
Thank you.
Well, you've been on the show before, I think, but we recently went to a show at the Manship that was really good, and it was Home for the Holidays, and Kay's been putting that on for 12 years. And man, that was a good show with CJ Solar, Alex Smith, David Bournay, and
Rhett
Anthony Glenmeyer. Gosh, that was a good show.
It was a wonderful show, and Kay and I were talking about it earlier because unfortunately she was not feeling well and could not make the show, and I was going to try to make her feel better by telling her that it was not that good of a show, but I couldn't bring myself to make that lie. It was a great show.
You could not lie.
I could not lie.
I'm glad, and it's amazing that it's become a tradition for a lot of folks during to their Christmas holiday season every year. So
it's a wonderful
I love
opportunity. Betsy and I were talking earlier. I mean, to have that kind of talent right here available for us in Baton Rouge to see is incredible. And I thank you for doing it because that's one of my love is live music.
You know, and the folks that go off that are in Nashville, like several of the guys, they love coming home and being able to play their new stuff for family and friends, and folks, follow them and see what's going on in their career paths. Over all of these years, now 12, we said, which a lot of them have done really crazy things, and it's awesome to think that you started following them when they were, down here, and then as
the
their
local
career
places,
grows,
it's great.
Maybe even when they were 10, but they didn't.
And like you said, they play new stuff that maybe they've not released yet, so you get the first opportunity.
Or somebody else might be releasing it, and
make it big.
And folks are the first to know it.
Exactly.
So that's the cool thing about the show.
It really is.
So in the next segment, I'm going to interview Kay's son, CJ Solar, and we're going to talk about some of the things he's doing with some big artists that have made two of his songs #1 hits, and he's won quite a few awards. But we were talking earlier about the Manship being such an intimate, beautiful space. And the lineup for this year is phenomenal. And you're on the board of the Manship Theatre,
Correct.
along with several others we'll mention in a moment. But as a CPA, you got to get away from crunching those numbers. You got to get out and have a good time.
And that's my outlet. Anybody who knows me knows that if there's a show at the Manship Theatre, more than likely I'm going to be there. Yeah. If I could catch a cot in the back room, I'd be happy to stay there. But yeah, this year's lineup is phenomenal, and it is just that venue with 325 seats in the arena, which is very hard to imagine, but every seat in there is a great seat.
It is.
And it's such an intimate atmosphere to hear those artists up close and personal like that. As we talked earlier, I'm spoiled. I mean, going to the large concerts just doesn't do it for me anymore.
Yeah. But there is really top-notch talent. Recently, Crystal Gale was there. We talked about how so many people were fans of hers. But you had rattled off a few people that are coming up and a few people that you've seen. Yeah, it is really high-quality entertainment.
Yeah, we had Peebo Bryson there a couple of weeks ago, and he was phenomenal. He was 72. His voice was just as incredible as it was when he was in his prime. We've got Ace Frehley from KISS coming up. We've got Marty Stewart, and if you're familiar with country music, Marty Stewart is just an incredible,
awesome
entertainer. Not just an artist, but just an entertainer. And we have the Coasters coming up later on this month. We've got the Zombies coming for those who are maybe a little older, and other Zombies. So yeah, it is just an incredible list of talent we have coming this year, and to be able to see them up close and in person like that is just it. If you've not done it, you really owe it to yourself to do it.
Well, you also do movies too.
Well, I was going to say, even when they do the films there, because I saw the Muscle Shoals movie there. Yes. I mean, the acoustics are phenomenal. It's a great seat. People may not think about that that's a great place to go see a movie, but that is the best place that you can go see a movie there. And they have a great list of films that they show.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in just about every music venue in town, and I can assure you that the Manship Theaters, the acoustics there are second to none, whether it's live music, whether it's film, whether it's performances, visual arts performances. It's just an incredible venue. The acoustics are great. And again, it's not many places you can go and get you a cocktail and go into the theater and watch the movie. And, you know, you don't have to worry about stepping on gum, you know, when you're going to the movie theater.
Yeah, the seats are clean.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It's fabulous, yes.
You know, you can be a member of the Manship. You can support the arts through the Manship. And when you're coming through town, if you're coming, whether you're going to an LSU game or you're going to some other event or you're going to the legislature or you've got business in Baton Rouge, you need to make a detour, look and see on the manshiptheatre.org website to see what else is going on, because you might be able to see one of the best shows of your life. No kidding.
It absolutely. I mean, we mentioned earlier, Eric Burton, who tell the story, even guys my age had no idea who Eric Burton was until you say House of the Rising Sun.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I love that song. Mm-hmm. He put on 2 concerts. It's probably been 5 or 6 years ago now. He was 72, and his pipes were as good now as they were back then. And it was phenomenal. I went to both shows, and both shows were different, but they were both phenomenal. And you just don't get to see talent like that every day. I saw Chris Christopherson there. That's one of those bucket list items.
That was a bucket list thing. I was there for that. And I think we are so lucky that places like the Manship Theatre were able to stay alive.
That's right.
Being that they were only able to have 2 shows the previous year.
And those were outdoor shows.
And those were outdoor shows. And that's hard. That's hard if you don't have a community that supports that. So that took a lot of support for them to still be there with us.
Yeah, I will tell you, the staff there does a phenomenal job. Fiscal management, their stewardship of the funds that we raise through donations and sponsorships, or, you know, as a board member and as a CPA, I certainly respect and appreciate the work that they do to keep that place afloat. But yeah, I mean, it's a community theater in terms of the community has to support it. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that because it's the Manship Theatre, and a lot of people associate it with a corporate structure. But it is a 501c3. All donations are tax deductible, and there's also sponsorship opportunities for shows that come into play. So, as a community, it's something that I really think that we need in this community for the arts. I know, Kay, you go to Nashville a lot, and Nashville is a prime example of what the arts can do for a community.
Right.
Well, it could change the economy of a community, because that is what is drawing people to Nashville.
Absolutely. And
businesses, major corporations are relocating because of the quality of life.
Right.
Arts provide a quality of life that you're not going to get in a place that doesn't support it.
And a lot of times, we talked earlier, when companies or organizations or the government starts looking at funding, arts are one of the first things that they cut.
That's right.
So as a community, I think that behooves us to join in supporting those organizations ourselves, so that we can have that top level of entertainment come to Baton Rouge, whether it's visual arts, whether it's performing arts. It's just an opportunity for the community to get involved and support. And you had Todd on earlier, and he's talking about the support that this community gives, and that's across the board. I mean, we are a very giving community, and I think it's important for us to support organizations that we feel strongly about, but will also improve the quality of life across the board.
Right.
And one of the things that you do in that way, though, you're also on the board, not only of the Manship Theatre, but also Junior Achievement, Louisiana Dream Teachers, that really gives teachers and principals an opportunity to network together, but be an example to those others in their profession.
Exactly. We formed Dream Teachers a number of years ago, and the purpose was to honor, elevate, and inspire teachers, because most people tell you that they think the reason the teachers get out of the profession is because of the money. Well, they know what they're getting into when they sign up for it in the first place. That's typically not the reason that most teachers are leaving the profession. It's the lack of respect from the students, from the the parents, in the community. So we want to elevate that teaching profession to one that gets the respect of the community. And I can tell you, the teachers that we've had honored, and the principals as well, over the past several years, are phenomenal.
And we've actually had them on our show.
I know. And, we're about out of time, but you do so much. We're going to definitely have to have you on again because I think we could, talk forever. And really appreciate Layne McDaniel for everything you do in the community. And thank you for joining us on the show today.
Well, thank y'all for having me. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
And up next, we're going to hear Betsy interview my son, CJ Solar, right before he performed at the Home for the Holiday show while home in Baton Rouge. So y'all stay put.